Thank you, everyone, for coming out. It's an honor to have everyone here. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Raphael. It's been quite an adventure. You guys I've been following your adventure greatly for the Antarctic trip, and while you guys sleep and camp outside of your Teslas mostly, I decided to go the other way and go on the inside, where I've been living in my Tesla full-time every night for over 7 years now. And I figure if you're going to live in a car, why not do it with some style?
So Justin and I are going to grill you a little bit, ask you some questions about that, because that's pretty cool.
Yeah, go for it.
Today's video is brought to you by Mars Mission 1, Surviving the Kessler Effect, a book by author Christopher Lee Jones.
I have a few friends that do the same thing, but I think you're probably you're doing it the longest of the people that I know. Almost 8 years, right?
It was just 7 years. Anniversary was just last month.
Yeah, and tell me about your car.
Yeah, so I got everything I need. As you can see, there's my Tesla bed right there. I got the Tesla pillows, the Tesla sheets, the Tesla blankets, the Tesla partitions. Everything in there is Tesla. It's completely blacked out and private in the back. And because I have free unlimited supercharging, I have unlimited heat and unlimited air conditioning, which I can leave on for 3 days straight, thanks to camper mode.
So, how do you shower?
Planet Fitness, man. I shower in the showers, but I do occasionally have to do the hobo bath if I'm out on an adventure. Baby wipes.
Same. Nancy and I hold a Planet Fitness membership. We use it in Canada and here, so it's great.
Yeah, Planet Fitness is clutch. I love them.
How do you use the restroom in the middle of the night?
Like,
what do you do in the middle of the night when you
I go to the bathrooms. Wherever I stay nearby, there's always a bathroom nearby. Where there's a will, there's a way.
So what's your home base?
Right here in Cape Canaveral now, the last 6 months. I've been rotating between 15 different charging stations that I just rotate. So wherever I am, I'm never staying in the same place twice in a row usually, but I did 6 months here in Cape Canaveral, 6 months in Orlando, a year and a half in Manhattan, and then 3.5 years on Long Island.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's nuts.
Manhattan wasn't easy.
I bet. So how many times have you had the dreaded knock on the window?
In about 7 years, it's about once a year now, so about 7 knocks, but usually I still have my old Tesla employee ID, and I'm like, hey, I'm doing a diagnostic on the charger here, leave me alone.
Do you, when you're charging, do you use anything for ensuring that you can escape if there's a sketchy situation?
I do have the EV-Ject on pre-order, coming soon to be compatible with all Model S and X's. But otherwise, I got my 360 cameras and Sentry mode, keeping an eye out for me.
Okay. Cool. Justin, you have any questions for Carson? Additional?
How many miles you got now?
Almost 190,000. Half of them probably on FSD.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Original battery, original motors.
Original high voltage battery pad, original motors, and they're still warranted for another year.
But what are you going to do when the battery dies? I heard that's a problem with EVs.
Well, at the same time, you probably would have gone through 5 or 6 transmissions, so you're still coming out ahead.
I'm not buying a Chrysler. Let's chill.
Is there anything else you want to add? I bet you get a lot of the same questions over and over. You want to answer any of those before we open up the Q&A later?
Yeah, of course. So obviously, everyone asks where you go to the bathroom, where you go and shower. What about the bed? Well, the bed right there is the most comfortable bed I've ever slept in or out of a car. It's made by a company called Dreamcase. Highly recommended if you're planning on sleeping in your Tesla for at least more than a couple days a year.
Not
Get
sponsored.
The Dreamcase.
Not sponsored.
Not a sponsor. Just love my bed.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have a kitchen in there somewhere?
I don't have a kitchen, but thanks to my lifestyle, I can afford to get takeout every day. I do have a refrigerator up front for some perishables and cool food.
Okay. So that's a little bit different to the way we've been doing it for past year.
Is there any thought for trading in now that FSD transfers here? And lifetime supercharging for
Well, there's
X
a Model X, and X equals 10 in Roman, so I think I got to live in this thing for at least 10 years before I consider upgrading.
So what I'll do now is I'm going to talk a little bit about stuff that we've been doing for the past year, and then you get to ask us questions. Whatever I miss, maybe we can cover some of that stuff. So how many of you know what we have been doing? Can show of hands? Okay, so good split 50-50. So this is a good chance for us to help understand the crazy stuff that we do. So what you see on the screen there is we've been camping for the past 12 months. We probably stayed at hundreds, I'll keep it manageable, hundreds of campsites, mostly forest land and deserts, the occasional parking lot. But our longest drive last year was to from South Florida. Basically, I live near Miami in Sunrise, and we went all the way to Tuktoyaktuk at the end of the Dempster Highway, which is the most remote road in North America. On the right side of the screen, you'll see the map. You see the star at the bottom and the red pin on the top. That's where we went. And we went, it was quite the journey. So we wanted to talk a little bit about that and how we did it.
Before you switch the slide. So looking at the map here, some fun numbers for you. So this trip ended up being 13,000 miles round trip for me, and that was just straight up just this trip. You were like doing a bunch of other stuff, so yours was much longer, but 4 weeks, 13,000 miles from Central Florida to the last supercharger, the last Tesla supercharger. That trip brought you about 1,700 miles short of the start line. So 1,700 miles after that of all public charging, and north of that is pretty remote. So
where was the last supercharger?
In Prince George.
Prince George, yeah. Prince George, Canada, and BC.
British Columbia, yeah.
And everything north of that is a single stall 50 kilowatt charger every 100 miles or so. And then that gets you to Dawson City. Now you're 500 miles roughly south of the Arctic Ocean, which is Tuktoyaktuk. That road, which you can see a nice little picture there, it looks kind of gravelly. It's built on permafrost, and about halfway is the Arctic Circle, the literal Arctic Circle. So once you reach the Arctic Circle, you're halfway there. And then it's roughly another 250-ish miles to get all the way to the Arctic. Now, that middle point, there's 12 full-time residents. It's called Eagle Plains. And that is where, thanks to our sponsors, we were able to install our first level 2 charger. So we installed a charger there. So you can literally make it from Dawson City to Eagle Plains, about 260 miles, and not have to worry about where's the chargers. The next stop is Inuvik, which is 150-ish miles from there.
Right.
There's 3 chargers.
We donated 3 wall connectors. One is at a tire shop, and the other one is at a, let's call it a hotel.
Yeah.
The Arctic Char, which is gonna come up here soon, but
I love that you guys did that. You seeded the way for future Cybertruckers.
yeah, so one of the main goals for us was to dispel the myth that EVs cannot go far, right? Because we get that a lot. And we went through this landscape that you see here. This is just one of probably 20,000 photos and drone shots that we have. The landscape's incredible, and we can share more of that information later, you know, after, during the day if you want to come to us and ask questions. But it was incredible. And when we went to Inuvik, that we donated the wall connectors, and I can't get this to move the right way. There are 2 at the hotel, and there's 1 at the tire shop. From there, we actually charged at a different place because these were not installed yet. So we had to kind of get creative. One of them was temporary wiring of a wall connector at tire shop, and the other one was at the RCMP's headquarters in the city of Inuvik. RCMP is like the Secret Service type of. It's like the.
It's like road. It's like your.
It's like the FBI.
Yeah.
There you go. Canadian here, Ryan. Thank you. So we were able to not only be hosted for that, but also we not always camped out in the wild. We were hosted actually by different places that we went to. So the community and the people that we meet along the way always contribute, and it's good to see that the majority of the people actually embrace the activities that we were doing. Very little people were against it. I mean, Justin has a quick anecdote that you may want to talk about. People that said that we were not going to make it, we should turn around, right?
Yeah, it's very fascinating. Apparently, there was a Facebook group up in the Northwest Territories that they were tracking where we were because we got to this very small place, and these kids come running out. We knew you were coming today. So that's pretty.
Give any autographs?
No. Canada, their economy is driven in a large part by natural gas and oil, right? Energy is big there, especially in these remote areas. So there's some transportation up and down the Dempster Highway of natural gas. They're a little less excited about electric. So that was fun, listening to them on the radio talk about one hell of an extension cord we must have had and generators.
They saw, we actually intercepted communications from one of the trucks, and they were talking to each other saying that, how was it that they said that they had generators? You can do the voice and everything if you want. Well,
I mean, you know.
Well, they said that we surely had generators because they saw our attachments on the trucks. If you haven't seen the trucks, they're outside. We have tanks, water tanks, and we have storage containers. They look like fuel tanks, so they thought, I mean, they just need to look at it twice and they'll realize that that's just storage. But we did some wild camping, like you can see here on the screen. We carried our own food. We were self-sustained other than charging. It went great, really.
It's a pretty incredible place. So like I said, so this is built on permafrost, and there's a lot happening up in that part of the world due to, I guess, longer seasons of stormy weather, more intense weather, and it's washing away the land, and it's kind of sad. So having the opportunity to get up there, if you get that, I cannot recommend it enough. The people are amazing, and they're very concerned about ensuring we're doing things responsibly, taking care of our world, and this is a great way that you could help support those communities. For a lot of you who may have the time to do this trip, it's pretty incredible, and yeah.
Can we get a time check? I just want to make sure that we don't overlap. We have, what, 10 more minutes?
Yeah, an extra 15
So I just wanted to highlight something because I think it's part of the experience. It's not just about what we're doing for others, but we also had a blast with this. I mean, you can see here on the screen, that is not CGI. This happened the night before we started our journey from Dawson City to go north. It was incredible because we had never seen the Northern Lights, and suddenly you see the photo on the right. This is how it kind of started. It looked kind of grayish, but there was something strange happening in the sky, and I wish I put the video here, but what you see on the left side, those are the Northern Lights captured by my iPhone. It's not like a long exposure or anything like that. That's exactly how you could see it with your
naked eyes. You can see it like that.
And the reason why I highlight that is because we are traveling to places that are very remote, very clean, and we're actually leaving it better than we find it. Some of the places we go to, we find trash or things that are not properly said. We carry trash bags and we pick up anything that we see from others, but at the same time we try to be good stewards of the environment, and that's another thing that we like to highlight because I love cars. I used to build race cars. Justin also a car guy, and we actually love the engineering of all cars. But the fact that we are able to listen to nature while we're driving through it and hurting as little as possible as we can, it just makes it that much more rewarding, I guess is the word.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. We were actually greeted by the Northern Lights for the first time on our way into Dawson City, and so this was like the last of the trip to get to the start line. And I just picture yourself as a Florida resident, and you're seeing something out the window. You don't know what the heck it is, and then it finally dawns on you. Oh my God, that is the Northern Lights! Look out your window, Ruff.
Yeah.
And it was like it was a feeling of being guided in and welcomed into the Northwest Territories on our way in. It was quite special.
Yeah, so what you see on the screen right now is the 3 of the 6 wall connectors that we donated. On the right side is a tire shop called Polar Tires, and then on the left side is actually at the RCMP's headquarters, but this is the owner of the Arctic Shire Hotel that hosted us for 2 nights when we went up and when we came back down. And I'm trying to move the slides, and it won't move. There we go. So that's a picture of the, let's call it, hotel on the left side, the Arctic Shire. So if any of you go there, one thing that we'd like to highlight is that you see the Tesla wall connectors that are there. They have our insignia of the expedition. If you happen to travel through that end and you carry a sticker of your own adventure, please make sure that you slap a sticker on those, because we want to see them full.
Yeah.
And
Next slide.
yeah, this is at the end of the Dempster Highway. That was the climax of the expedition, where we went and spent time with the mayor of that city, Tuktoyaktuk. They are losing the shore, and they're having to move their people from the shore to inland. These are generations that have lived in the water. This is a fishing community, so they depend on that. And the problem is that the glaciers are melting at a rapid pace, a lot faster than in the past. So they're losing the shore because of that. The water is increasing. The mayor told us that he didn't really care whether people believed or not in climate change. He's just living it. Through 3 generations, they have seen the shore becoming smaller and smaller. So the place where we went, where the ocean was, will soon no longer be there, be a little bit further south rather than north. And this is going to be a little bit...
It's technology. I can help you.
Oh, there it is.
Here we go. You got it.
Just like that.
Temporary. Yes, the water was really cold. We all kind of dipped into them. I may do it again later this year. I don't know. We'll see. I think this is actually the last slide that I have. I just kind of snuck it in here because Justin makes content on his Bearded Tesla channel, both in X and YouTube, and I have a small channel also. We share the adventures that we do, as well as car reviews and things like that. But our main goal, my main goal, is to share the positive experiences and the joy with people. So if you want to see some of that, you can follow us online, reach out to us. We always try to answer any questions that we have. If you have any questions right now, I think this is a good moment before we run out of time.
Let me ask you guys a quick question. Well, I got you. Do you guys still are considered Florida residents with all your adventures? Are you 50% or more in Florida or less?
100%. I'm never moving back to the Midwest.
Yeah, kind of. I think Nancy and I have spent 9 of the last 12 months on the road, basically living in the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
And
by the way, we need to keep them on the road. So whatever you can do to support these guys, Teslatino, follow them on YouTube, follow them on X, consider other ways to support their journey. It's very hard to break through that in content, and they're doing some amazing things and sharing some amazing experiences with the community as a whole. So
yeah, you know what? Thank you for that. Since we have a little bit of time, I'll give you a little bit of my background. I joined the Tesla community back in 2018. The Tesla community literally saved my life. I had a motorcycle accident and I was really down, and the joy, the embrace of the Tesla community before I even had a Tesla car or shares, it was incredible. So by the time I recovered and I started walking again and learned how to be myself again, I was able to secure the 2018 Model 3, and I just went down this rabbit hole that you are all in. Through my personal journey, I've been able to not only save myself, but I think I have been able to help others as well. I was in technology for over 30 years. I lost my employment last year, and I decided that I did not want to be enclosed in four walls ever again. I was always going out and spending time in nature and with people and helping others, and while economically it's harder now, it gives me the freedom to be myself again, and I do appreciate every single. I remember the first time that one person commented on one of my videos, I was over the moon, and I really enjoy that you guys share your experiences, and I like to share mine, so I do appreciate you. I wanted to say that in front of you because it's real. Like, I really do appreciate it. I've never been embraced by a community like this one, and we have met thousands of people. I feel responsible for the Cybertruck being sold in Canada the day it started being sold, because when we went to Canada, no one had done it, and we did all the way to Nova Scotia, and we drove all the way, and even Tesla employees, I gave them rides. They had never seen one in person, and it has been a labor of love. I haven't been able to monetize it properly, and I don't care really. I just want to keep doing it. So your support goes a long way as well, you know, with Justin as well.
Starman, you got the basket, right?
Okay, yeah, we're going to be passing around a basket.
No need to
We
basket.
accept 20s, 20s, 100s. Gift cards to Chili's.
No, you don't have to, it's not a financial thing. But subscribing and watching his videos and consuming his content is the best way to support a creator. And yeah, we want to keep him on the road.
My main goal is to keep sharing with you guys. Many of you may know that, and maybe many of you don't, but we have been going to as many events, Tesla events, as we can, as well as space-related events throughout the United States. My Cybertruck has 66,000 miles today in 13 months, and I'm slacking because I actually took the Y on a few trips as well. It would be closer to 75,000, but it's not that I want to put a lot of miles on the truck. It's just that all the places where you guys are throughout the continent are really far, so I need to get there somehow, and I'm driving it. So, yeah. I don't know, I think I can talk more about the journey.
Yeah, do you want to take questions from the crowd? Sure. I got a mic here. Yeah, this young man, I think, was first here. There you go, sir.
Good morning, or good afternoon, whatever it is. Guys, I'm not a techno guy in terms of battery health. Now, you guys have huge miles on your vehicles, and I would assume that maybe between the three of you have different concepts on monitoring your batteries, what the health is of those batteries. I mean, the gentleman who's been living in his car for 7 years, I'm sure he monitors it pretty closely and can tell you when he thinks those batteries are going to die. I'd be interested in all your three takes on that particular issue.
Do you want to go first?
Yep. Yeah, so I got the 8-year infinite mile warranty on my Tesla Model X high voltage battery. Thankfully, they were doing infinite miles back then for me. So I got another year on it, so not as worried, but once I'm getting close to that 8 years, I'm definitely want to extend it just to be safe. But yeah, no, I still charge up to 90, 100% on the Model X 75D. It's recommended you charge up to 90, but for all my road trips, I'll still charge up to 100%. But most of the charging stations that I stay at overnight, I try to go to level 2 chargers so I could stay plugged in overnight and wake up with a full charge. Level 2 charging with the slower charge will help maintain the health of that battery long term.
I've got some really great news. So 4680 battery cells, how many people have heard bad things about it, right? We had the all-wheel drive Model Y. People said it was garbage, you can't charge, can't do all this stuff. It charges really fast. I just did a range test recently, and at 100%, I pulled, I think, 116 kilowatt hours. I did 297 miles at 70 miles an hour. And there was still some in there, so it was a balance issue. So the point is, with my 2021 Model Y, I actually do have degradation, and I can measure that. I have the smallest change from brand new. When I charge that thing full, it still shows 311, and it was 319 or 317 the day I got it, which is, that's pretty incredible. So, you know, Tesla doesn't, they get a lot of grief for their battery stuff because over in China they're blowing through these things at, you know, ungodly speeds, which is amazing. But when it comes to durability, reliability, and affordability, they're unmatched. And the 4680s are doing a great job.
I don't have a lot more to contribute because I have to charge no matter what because I'm going too far. So I try to charge as much as I can on level 2s, but I probably charge more than 90% of my charging on superchargers. And the truck still says that I have 309 miles, which I can't. You just look at my truck and you'll know why. Big off-road tires. I'm carrying a house around it. There's no way I'm going to get very efficient. But it hasn't been a problem. So far, so good.
Trying to see. It'll tell me. Are there any other questions? You, sir, in the center there. Let me.
I can do it.
Oh, you got it? All right. There you go. Use the diaphragm. You got it.
So, other than on your road trip from South Florida to Arctic, what kind of modern convenience did you need the most? I mean, was heating a problem in the cold? Was air conditioning problem? What kind of modern convenience were you missing?
So the question was what kind of modern conveniences we use throughout our trips. In our case, even when we went all the way up north, I think the coldest we got was like 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
It was snowing. It was negative 2 million.
What month was it again?
It was snowing. Don't worry about that.
So we personally didn't, so we were sleeping on the tent with a nice sleeping bag while we were on that. The other times we were hosted by people from the community or as you saw in that hotel, but we haven't really had any need for any particular crazy amenities for cold weather. We carry a portable kitchen basically. We have a fridge. The electric fridge is being powered by the Cybertruck. The stove is an induction stove. We carry dry food in some baskets that we have.
Yeah, I think you guys. I mean, you have a special diet anyway, so you're more accustomed to cooking on the road. For somebody who's not, I would say that was the biggest gap, was finding, you know, food along the way that you normally eat. Right? There's not like a Burger King in the middle of the Arctic. So.
Yeah, what we do personally is that we try to stock about a week worth of provisions, and when we run out, we're usually close to civilization or in it, so we just go to
in the Pizza Hut Chinese restaurant.
Yeah,
that was special.
So I mean, I hope that helps.
Yeah, animals problem?
So I'm so disappointed. So we were prepared. It turns out, so we saw one. Other than a squirrel, we saw one major animal. It was a moose, and it was massive. It was so cool.
I mean, we did see bison, and we saw bears.
Yeah, on the way back. But up in the Arctic, that's all we saw.
Oh, a wolf. We saw a wolf.
And a wolf. And that was it. And it turned out the herd of, what was it, elk that they have up there? Mm-hmm. It was, wherever the herd is where all the predators are. So it was not in that area at the time. So on the other hand, that's a good thing. Now, another traveler on the road was greeted by a grizzly. 2 weeks before we got up there, there was a polar bear mama with her 2 cubs walking through tuk-tuk. So
that happened because they got lost from their herd.
They couldn't keep up because the receding ice was much faster.
Yeah, so there was a commotion in the city that they told us the story. The younger people wanted to shoot the polar bear, and the elderly, the Inuits, they said, leave them alone, they're going to find their way, and they did, and they left, and no one had to kill anything, so that was great.
Yeah, well, allegedly the Canadian government showed up with a helicopter and started shooting at it, so... Sheesh.
Yeah, we did carry protection, bear spray for, because we're camping in wild places, and there's a lot of best practices that you do. You make sure that you don't cook where you're going to sleep. If you do cook where you're going to sleep, leave the food far from you, hang it on a tree or something. So we did a lot of that, plus other ways of protecting ourselves.
And for the bear spray itself, don't leave it in your car. If it's hot, it'll explode and your car is done for.
Yeah. Internet, we do have
Starlink.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I personally have a high performance Starlink dish, which is probably 3 times the size of the Mini. It has a lot of great coverage, and that's how we did not only stay connected, but we're also able to live stream from the Arctic. We did a live stream that was 9 hours.
Yeah, and I have the 149 special, known as the Gen 3. That thing is amazing. Perfect coverage the whole time, all the way up to the end of North America.
Yep.
Pretty awesome.
And my Mini here is perfect for me. It actually snaps into the ceiling glass of the Model X perfectly. Don't need any special mounts or anything. And it works in motion. So I was driving through Yellowstone for a month, and it worked everywhere, all throughout the mountains. I love it.
Yeah.
Question on your trip, what percentage did you use full self-driving if you did use it?
It was not a thing at the time of this trip. No autopilot, no full self-driving, traffic-aware cruise control.
I drove the Cybertruck 34,000 miles before FSD was a thing on the Cybertruck.
Now that's roughing it.
96% for me.
Did you notice any range difference with all the equipment on the truck?
Oh,
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I went from, on the highway, I used to be able to do close to 300 miles, and now I can barely do 200. But I could do 200, but then there's no charging, so I usually try to stretch it, go as fast as I can, so I drain as much as I can, and charge as quick as I can.
Yeah.
Did it get dark out much earlier?
I'm sorry?
Did it get dark out?
No, it was still light out at 11:30 p.m. up in Inuvik.
Yeah.
There was 3.5 hours of nighttime.
They call it the midnight sun, so.
Yeah. Wow.
Is there going to be an Arctic Cybertruck Part 2?
Yes.
Spare tires. How did you handle tires?
8-ply BF Goodrich KO3s, baby.
I have a full-size rim with KO3s on the truck bed.
Did you have a lot of flaps?
Not a single one.
0.
Not a single one. Yeah.
Yeah, and so here's another thing to consider along those lines. The Cybertruck just came out. There had not been a single Cybertruck in the entire country of Canada. There's no availability of spare parts in anywhere. We literally went when they were still fixing bugs on this thing, right? And we had exactly this many issues, which is a true testament to the engineering team that put together one hell of a truck. That
Thank you, Wes.
We saw cars.
We put it through some stuff.
Yeah, we saw cars that. So the Dempster Highway is a gravel road. It's not very intimidating when it's in good condition, but
it can get rough.
I mean, we saw potholes that were the size of small cars.
Yeah, you would literally drive into the pothole and drive out.
Sorry?
So they didn't rust after all, is what you're saying.
The frame didn't snap in half. The panels didn't come unglued. I don't know, man. It was weird.
Not because we own it, but because we own it, we know the Cybertruck is a magical engineering marvel. It's the only way that I can put it. It's just insane.
Some people have real guts, and they take their campers up this road. And there was one camper completely flipped over. It was this 87-year-old lady who refused to sit for the best days of her life, she said. And so she was towing this little camper, and unfortunately, lost the camper, but she kept going.
She kept going. They rescued her, and she was staying at Eagle Plains, the service station that is halfway between Dawson City and Inuvik. And yeah, what a warrior.
She didn't get the bear of the murder business.
What's that?
So she didn't get the bear of the murder business.
Yeah.
So all the travel, did you go through any tires or any tire issues?
No issues. Nothing.
The KO3s are amazing, yeah.
Yeah, well, right now we have KO3 BF Goodrich tires. They launched that version of the tire right at that time, and we were lucky enough to get them from one of our sponsors. I was using KO2s before that. The KO3s are really good on the wet.
Yeah.
Not only on the dirt, and they're 10-ply equivalent. We went through some we did rock crawling. I camped out in hundreds of locations throughout, like from Colorado, Utah, Anza Borrego Desert in San Diego, California, all the forest land that you can imagine in Washington State. We went all over, and they are still, you can look at them. My tires have over 40,000 miles on them, and they look like they're halfway. It doesn't make any sense.
Pretty cool. 6,000-pound truck too.
I think I saw.
Yeah. So we've all dealt with like some sort of range anxiety, they call it, when you see the battery percentage going down. I can't imagine how it affected you guys on your trip with all of that. Did the car start to realize that you guys were running heavy?
Oh yeah.
Tires? Did it adjust?
We're going to tell you something about that, because we actually spoke to Wes from Tesla about this. The Cybertruck estimation, especially when there's bad weather, is right on point. We charged to 100% at Dawson City, and we drove for almost 9 hours on a single charge towards Eagle Plains, and when we got there I was at 3%. By the time I was able to find a plug, I was at 2%.
And when we're talking plug, we're being generous here on what a plug is. It was pretty rough.
Yeah. But no anxiety. The estimated range on the Cybertruck's insane.
It is, and that's something that Tesla also does really well. If you ever notice, when you go on your road trips, the next stop it'll say, percentage. If you ever do the math, you're like, that's nowhere near what the range number says. Turn it to percent and be done with the numbers. It's so good, but when you start adding all this equipment, in my experience, the Cybertruck takes one stretch, just one charging stop, and it's pretty dang accurate the next one. And it just zeroes in each time, just minor little fluctuations to adjust for what the truck's actually experiencing. It's not going to change the number if you go from percent to EPA range at the top, but it will absolutely show you what your percentage at arrival is.
Okay. Well, I think we have time for one more question, if you guys want to pick the last question for the day. Oh, here's a guy over here. You want to give a little love? How about this young man? Do you want the microphone, or you want to? Yeah.
So you guys mentioned doing another trip up there. Carson mentioned that you've seeded the journey to the Arctic Circle. Other than more wall connectors, what other things could be donated from the community, whether receptacles, different stuff like that you might need, or in those areas to have backups for?
We are still in the research phase. We want to do donations of wall connectors also, but we want to find out what are the needs of the communities that we're going to be visiting. So when we do the revamp on the site, we'll probably post for donations, whatever we need. And sponsorship goes a really long way, believe it or not. It helps us go. So stay tuned for that, because we will provide more details. We also want to do some really awesome trips here in the United States. There's thousands of places to visit here that people have not seen, especially an electric vehicle go to, and we are going to take them because people need to understand that this is not the same world that it was 20 years ago. We're in a new phase, and we're embracing it as hard as we can. Yeah.
Great. All right, let's give him a hand.
Happy Tesla camping, everyone.
Yeah, let's give it up for Tesla Tino, the bearded Tesla guy. And Carson Geller, one more time.